Hi, this is Emma, and you're watching episode 2 of My Birthway. If you're trying to figure out a little bit about what this is, please go back and watch episode 1. I am a doula, and I also run a farm, a homestead with my husband. But really, what My Birthway is about is the quest of my husband and I, Jason, to figure out about being parents. I mean, we're trying to get pregnant. We're hoping that we are right now. And so in episode 1, I told you a little bit about trying for a baby and having sex at a certain time when we were ovulating and all that. So that was last week. Right now, it's a little bit more than a week after the big ovulation day, and which happened to be our 2-year wedding anniversary. And today's episode is about if I am 3 weeks pregnant or not at all. That's the weird thing about the medical system. When they measure your pregnancy, they base it off of 2 weeks before you would have conceived. So once you find out you're pregnant, you're probably already maybe like the baby's already been in there doing things for 2 weeks, or the zygote blastocyst combination has already been in there for 2 weeks. So you're already considered a month pregnant at that point because they base it off of the first day of your last period. So, but I know when I was ovulating, so I'm going to base it off of that because, you know, you can tell your medical care provider that. It's usually about the same estimation of the estimated due date, but that's kind of where we are right now. And I just wanted to remind you, if you hear funny animal sounds in the background, that could be a cow or turkeys or ducks. And today my cat is hanging out with me as I record week 2's video. So today I just kind of want to talk about what I've been experiencing. We do not know yet if I'm pregnant or not. If I am, it would be 9 days since being pregnant, since the egg was fertilized. Which means that probably I'm going to be considered a month pregnant by the time we find out that I actually am. I've been peeing on a stick. That's geese, by the way, what you hear. I've been peeing on a stick and still nothing. But let me tell you a little bit about why I'm not super disheartened yet. Of course, I go through moments where I'm like, oh my God, I'm not pregnant. This is so upsetting. But I'm getting way ahead of myself. And I know that based on the research, I'm getting way ahead of myself. So first of all, it takes a while for your body to actually start like registering the HCG hormone, which is what the egg and I guess the embryo puts out to say like, hey, please don't ovulate anymore. We already have a baby in here. And so, of course, for that to happen, the blastocyst has had to implant and turn into an embryo once it's implanted, and send those signals through your body, which is what they pick up with the pee test. So if I'm pregnant, probably the blastocyst now turning into embryo is still implanting in my uterus right now. And the reason that I think that's still happening, or I hope that's what's happening, is because I've been experiencing some bleeding, but it's not exactly red. So some women, about a third, experience implantation bleeding. And I think that's what's happening to me. Sometimes people think it's their period, but it's not. Sometimes people think they have implantation bleeding, but it's actually their period. So some of the classic signs of implantation bleeding is that it starts off browner or maybe a little bit pink, not red. And it starts off a couple days before your period would start, which happened to me in both cases. But I've also looked up more information, and it's really different for every woman. So if you have bright red and you still think, I still feel like I'm pregnant, that's possible. It's just not as common. It's more common for an implantation bleeding to be a couple days, not quite as long as a normal period, but it can still happen where it can still be 5 days long or as long as your normal period. So you never really know. But what I'm experiencing is, so today is day 9. Let me whip out my handy dandy chart that I showed you last time with my ovulation strips. Now we're on the back, which is day 9, which is where I've been charting what may or may not be happening. So day 9 would be around the time when the implantation is probably completing. So if I'm pregnant, the blastocyst is turned into an embryo. It's now an embryo once the amniotic sac forms. So it's like kind of right around that time. But it has to implant before it starts to create the amniotic sac. So that's day 9. And starting on the evening of day 6, I had a little bit of color when I would wipe. So it wasn't even the same as when my period starts. It was wasn't even brown the first night. It was like just like tan. It was barely. And this is of course because I'm paying way attention to everything. So maybe this would happen in my normal life before a period, but I don't think so because I generally pay pretty good attention. So it was a little bit of tan. And then I experienced day 7, day 8, and day 9, which is today, which was a sort of steady but super light bleeding, but it's brown. It's not even pink or red. It's brown. It doesn't even look like blood. It looks almost like little particles or something like that. So I think that's pretty interesting because at this point in time, I have never experienced a period where it just is sort of this weird light brown thing for 3 straight days. Maybe for like a day and then the real period kicks in, but it hasn't happened yet. So I'm really hoping that this is a symptom of, this is implantation bleeding. So we'll see if it tapers off. I mean, it could keep going for a couple days. I don't know. But so that's one reason why I really do think I'm pregnant, but I don't know. And of course I go through stuff in my head every 2 minutes. I mean, you think about this literally all freaking day, nonstop. You meet someone new, you're like, hi, nice to meet you. And you want to say, I think I might be pregnant. Well, I mean, come on, that's ridiculous. And plus you don't want to tell people yet. And I mean, maybe you do, I don't. So anyway, so that's one of the symptoms. Another symptom is my boobs are bigger. And it seems kind of early for that to be happening, but it's just different for different women. And they're not bigger like the way they feel bigger before a period. They're not like kind of sore and bigger in that way. They feel like I got like breast implants or something. It's very strange. They feel like, but they feel dense. It's not even like breast implants. They're not that much bigger. They just feel bigger. They feel denser and they feel like muscles. Like they feel like boob muscles. Almost, I mean, I'm hoping that it's because all the tissue in there is starting to go like, hey, we're going to be a mom. Let's make extra tissue. Let's do what we need to do to make milk. That's kind of what I think is going on. Another thing is it's better today, but starting day 4 after ovulation, day 4, 5, 6, 7, I was so constipated, and I don't get constipated. I have pretty good bowel movements. They're pretty regular. It's not really a problem. You don't have to hang out in the bathroom for 15 minutes. I've been hanging out in the bathroom for 15 minutes, and today's been better, and I think last night. But, oh my God, there were a couple days where I was like, what is going on? And then I remembered that in many cases, maybe not always this early, some of the hormonal changes in your body as your body starts to shift around. Your digestion, a lot of your processes slow down when you're pregnant because it just does. The hormone change affects things. And so I'm thinking, okay, maybe that's part of it. Another thing is it's also corrected itself now, and this could be unrelated, but when you think you're pregnant, everything might be something. I've been like stuffy. My nose has been kind of stuffy, but it doesn't feel like I'm getting sick. It never felt like that. I never felt like sleepy, like, oh, I'm sick sleepy. I just felt a little tired, but I had a lot of energy at the same time. My body felt tired, like my legs felt heavy, but I had energy, and I had like a stuffy kind of nose thing going on. And so that was super strange. So that's kind of the symptoms that I'm experiencing right now, which is pretty, I feel like all those things together, like the sinus thing, the constipation, the boob thing, the maybe implantation bleeding, I feel like all of those things could be a good thing. But now here's the thing. I've taken a pee test. I took one on day 4, which is so stupid because you're not going to be able to tell. But I mean, come on, you're so excited, you know. It's not even really worth being able to tell till day 6, 7, and beyond. So I took a pee test this morning. It was completely negative. Same thing with all the other days before. But I still want to do it because it's super exciting and, you know, all those things. Now, I haven't been saving those pregnancy tests, but I'm sure if a line appears, I'm going to be starting to save them, just like my beautiful ovulation chart that I have here. So the thing about that is one reason why I could still be pregnant but not be able to tell from the test is, like I said before, it takes a while for the implanting future baby to start to send out the HCG signals, or at least enough in your body that you can tell from peeing on the stick. I mean, your body might already be getting those signals, but it just doesn't show up on the stick. So that's to say, tell your ovaries, hey, don't ovulate anymore next time. Hey, you know, hey, whole system, stop, please. We have a baby in here. And so I'm really hoping that that's gonna work, that's all gonna cut on, everything's gonna happen, and then my body's gonna get the signals, the HCG signals that are like, hey, okay, there's a baby in here. And then we'll find out from peeing on the stick. But with the brand I have, which is Wandflow, can't remember which one. There's a cool website where you can go. It's like Pregnancy Countdown, I believe, .com. And you can look at the different brands of the test to see, in general, women who reported actually being pregnant. When they were testing, like what percentage of them got a negative on this day and stuff like that. So I'm still in the zone where on day 9, it's like a kind of a 50-50 chance I would get some kind of positive and just a negative. So we'll see tomorrow, we'll see the next day, we'll see the next day. One of my good friends didn't get even a slight pink line until day 11. So, I mean, we'll see. This is just so like, oh, I'm going crazy. I'm like, okay, diet. Let me add all these things in my mind that I need to look up. Like, gotta double check. Can I eat this? Can I eat that? And I'm imagining all this stuff that I don't need to be freaking out about because my husband and I have already done all this nutritional research, and that's something I want to talk about in one of the next video like chapters, is how we prepared for being pregnant, because we spent so much energy preparing nutritionally, emotionally, and I really want to share that because we feel really good about the decisions we've made. But for now, I just wanted to let you know that I'm still waiting. So either right now I'm around 3.5 weeks pregnant, or I'm not pregnant. Such a weird thing. So next time we talk, I'm going to be like over a month pregnant, or not at all. Unless maybe I find out really soon that I'm pregnant, and then I'll record a video before the next week just because I'm so excited. And I just wanted to holler about it. So if you have any questions or comments for me, or if you just like watching my crazy videos, please leave a comment. That would be awesome. My doula website is ourbirthway.com. And you can find Our Birthway on Facebook. But otherwise, just like reach out to me through the video if you have questions, or if you have any comments, or just anything you want me to answer in a video. I would love to do that. But this is mostly sort of a video journal that I'm experiencing because I want to immortalize this moment. And I would encourage you to go back and watch the first episode for you to get just a little background on the way I roll, who I am, what I do, why I'm doing this, all the deeper reasons. Thanks so much for watching again. Please keep your fingers crossed for me. Send me good energy. Let's hope I'm pregnant. Okay. Thanks a lot. Bye.